Hello students, today we will discuss next topic, that is group etiquette and mannerisms. In our previous lectures we discussed different topics prescribed into your syllabus by Punjab University Chandigarh, and the topic which we are going to discuss today is group etiquette and mannerisms. So let's begin with our today's topic. Students, let's begin with the topic which we are going to discuss today, that is group etiquette and mannerisms. In any group task, be it a project or presentation or discussion, the behavior of the group really matters. So in any group task, be it a project or presentation or discussion, behavior of the group really matters. At times, the group members tend to have difference of opinions and go off the track now and then. Sometimes, while group discussion, different members tend to have different opinions and they go off track now and then. It is important to keep the purpose, goal, or task in mind and bring the discussion back to the stated focus. This is the shared responsibility of all, because as a participant in a group discussion, GD means group discussion, every member has to ensure that the discussion takes place in a smooth and proper manner. So while having a discussion in a group, this is the responsibility of every member of that group, because as a participant in a group discussion, every member has to ensure that the discussion takes place in a smooth and proper manner. Logical ideas, poised demeanor, supportive attitude, balanced view, and team spirit are some of the most important ingredients of a successful group discussion. Besides these, however well behaved, a group without a leader is a rudderless ship that moves about perpetually without ever arriving at the destination. So, while having a discussion in a group, every member has to ensure that discussion takes place in a smooth and proper manner. Logical ideas, poised demeanor. Demeanor means behavior or conduct. Supportive attitude, balanced view, and team spirit are some of the most important components or ingredients of a successful group discussion. Besides these, however well behaved, a group without a leader is a rudderless ship that moves about perpetually without ever arriving at the destination. Therefore, the following section highlights the importance of proper group etiquette and leadership, both of which are crucial to the success of a GD. Following are some of the points you should keep in mind to exhibit your positive group etiquette. So, following are some of the points which one should keep in mind while having a discussion in a group. First one is being friendly and approachable. It is important that your co participants find you approachable and easy to talk to. People who are grumpy, haughty, or impassive are often left out in group activities. Take a look at the group discussion section in the online resource center of the book and learn how a friendly approach helps you in a group situations. So, if you are friendly and approachable, then the group discussion can be very smooth. Remember, even with your non-verbal language, you can send out the message that you care for what others have to say, that you are friendly and approachable. So, very first point that is counted in the positive group etiquette is being friendly and approachable. Second is encouraging participation from co participants. Only a cooperative and conducive environment will encourage healthy participation from the group members in a group discussion. So, only the cooperative and conducive environment, only that such type of environment will encourage party healthy participation from group members in a group discussion. What do you do when a participant does not contribute to the discussion at all or is dominated by other participants when he she tries to say something? Would you ignore him her or would you say something to encourage such a participant? Surely one should try and encourage the silent participant to present his or her views. So, while being in a group, one should try to encourage participation from co participants. Next point is not hurting anyone. Not hurting anyone. Humility is a virtue that is always appreciated, even if you disagree with what a co participant is saying. You should never rebuff or belittle the other person. Means you should never make another person feel inferior to yourself. Since such behavior finds takers neither in group discussions nor in real life, it is best to be humble though assertive. So, you should be humble while having a group discussion. Uh, so, don't try to hurt anyone. Remember that you may have a difference of opinion, but that does not give you the right to raise your voice or ridicule others. Group discussions are held not just to test your language skills and general knowledge, but also to see how you tackle the varied situations. Your presence of mind, humility, tranquility, tolerance, and ability to adapt and respond to impromptu situations are also under a scanner in such group exercises. So, not hurting anyone. So, while having a group discussion, you should not try to hurt someone, otherwise, your group discussion cannot be successful. Next point is not being dominative or dismissive. Since a group discussion is meant to test your team skills and leadership qualities, apart from other qualities, it is good to support your ideas with facts, figures, data, and experiences. A group discussion is meant to test a person's team skills and leadership qualities. Apart from other qualities, it is good to support your ideas with by giving your facts, figures, data, and experiences. But do not try to dominate others or emphasize an idea beyond the point of tolerance. Also, don't dismiss another person's point of view to score points. Picture this situation where one person in the group tries to dominate another. So don't try to be dominative while having a group discussion or while working in a group. This is important group etiquette, not being dominative or dismissive. Here you can next is the discussion between participants of a group. Next point is avoiding emotions. Emotions are common and natural to human nature. However, it is not desirable to overplay your emotions, particularly in a group discussion. A surfeit of emotions makes a person irri- irrational. It is best, therefore, to stay calm even when provoked. Do not make any personal comments during group discussions. So, while having discussion or while working in a group, try to avoid your emotions or do not make any personal comments during group discussion. Uh, Next, there are the examples of avoiding emotions. Students, you can read it by yourself. Next point is avoiding peer discussion. Avoiding peer discussion. Group discussion is meant to test your team skills. Hence, uh, whatever information you intend to share, it should be addressed to the entire group and not to one or two members. Whatever information you intend to share, that is not for only one person, but it should be addressed to the entire group and not to one or two members. Don't start talking or arguing with one or two members, ignoring others. Something that the two participants are doing in the following group discussion. So, while having a discussion in a group or while working in a group, try to avoid peer discussion. A heated debate, like if there is any heated debate between persons, between two persons or different persons in a group, that would not be favorable. So one should try to avoid heated debate in a group, otherwise it can create a bad impression about you and your co-participants. But sometimes it so happens that two people are so much in appreciation of each other's views that they forget that they are in a group discussion and there are other participants as well. Such lopsided expressions of admiration and depreciation should both be avoided. It is seen at times that members lose sight of the original purpose and may get sidetracked. Arriving at a decision can thus be a difficult process for a group. Sometimes group report to voting to decide issues. When possible, it is useful to work towards achieving a consensus or conclusion. Group members should respect each other and each person should recognize the potential contributions made by the others. The two most common types of people affecting a group's effectiveness are the persons who dominate and the persons who remain silent. So, never try to be submissive or dominative. Each person should realize how she or he can contribute to the solution to any problem. It can be as difficult to get the quiet person to speak as it is to get the talkative person to talk less. It is the group's responsibility to help manage the group's dynamics, for example, to help the shy person contribute and to help the dominant person make time for others to speak. So, you should not be submissive or passive while having a group discussion, or you should not be so dominative while having a group discussion. Every person should be given time to talk or to give his or her opinions while having a group discussion. It is because of such peculiarities of group etiquette that a leader's space is naturally created in a group. Next point under group etiquette is leadership. As suggested earlier, a group without a leader can be as wayward as a ship without a captain. So, a leader of a group is must, because without a leader of a group, the group can be as wayward uh, as a ship without a captain. Since in a group discussion no one walks in with a designated tag to be the leader of the group, anyone can emerge as the leader provided he or she showcases some such qualities during the discussion. Now, what makes a leader? Of course, there can't be a defined formula to suggest what makes this magical concoction. There are certain attributes such as Clarity means the leader of a group should have a clear idea of the topic. Objectivity, discernment, expression, composure, erudition, maturity, amiability, patience, and motivation. So, all these are certain attributes of a leader of a group. So, all these are the points that come under the topic group etiquette and mannerisms, such as being friendly and approachable, encouraging participation from co participants, not hurting anyone, not being dominative or dismissive, avoiding emotions, avoiding peer discussion or leadership. So all these are topics of group etiquette and mannerism. Try to learn all these topics, students. So today we have covered this important topic of your syllabus, group etiquette and mannerisms. Tomorrow we will continue with our next lecture. Thank you very much.